Felicia, I love what you've done to this bathroom. Now, you told me you've made a sign.
I have. How about that?
Wait a minute. Who is that intended for?
Anybody and everybody.
Is that for me?
Everybody.
Felicia, I wash my hands usually.
Usually.
And that's such an important sign because there are so many diseases and viruses and all kinds of stuff and just getting poop on your hands, right? It's so important. So many people don't wash their hands. This looks like something you'd see in a restaurant.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, this is very, very cool. I like that. So it just sits here like that.
Sure.
Just like you see in the restaurants or some of the other things. Now, I may or may not have used your Cricut yesterday, and I came up with something for the parasites.
Oh, gosh.
What do you think of that?
Look at you.
Look at that. That's not bad, right?
That's pretty good.
I did this one myself.
That's pretty good.
So look how good of a job I did. It looks almost perfect.
Almost perfect. Look at you. Look at you.
Look.
Look at you.
Did you see what I did here?
What did you do?
I messed up the T, so I used a Sharpie.
Oh, too funny. Too funny. I love it. You did great work.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
See,
But look at that.
It's easy. Everybody can do this.
Well, it was, I'll tell you what, it took like 4 or 5 tries before I do this. But look at that. How neat is that?
I think
bathroom signs. Is that what you would call these?
Yes, I would.
I love yours, though. Yours is adorable. Spread kindness, not germs. Wash your hands. Such an important reminder in today's society. And, of course, mine for the parasites. Children, wash your hands, you dummies, before leaving the bathroom. Of course, adults don't do it either. So, I don't know. Maybe you got a 2 for 1 here. Nice work. Oh, what's that? What is that? A little easel? Oh, adorable. How does that work? That is amazing. So you could do paintings on these things. What is this canvas?
This is just canvas board.
It's neat. You iron this on with heat transfer vinyl.
I ironed it with heat transfer vinyl.
Stop it. You are amazing, Felicia. Great work. Hey, please like, subscribe, comment if you have any ideas too. No one knows everything except Felicia. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.
Bye, Felicia.
I knew she was going to say that.
Hi there and welcome to Family Unit. I'm Felicia and today I'm going to create a bathroom sign and walk you through the whole process. Before we get started, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to get notifications. We put out new videos on a regular basis. Let's get going. I'm going to be using all Cricut materials for this project, including the Maker 3, the mini press, iron-on material in both black and gold, a standard grip mat, a vinyl trimmer, a weeding tool, along with Artist Loft 8x6 canvas board. So now over in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to start with a blank canvas by clicking on New Project in the upper right-hand corner. Then from there, I'm going to start designing my project. I know what I have in mind that I like to do, so I'm going to go over to the image library on the left and click on Images. And in the search box, I'm going to search for a rectangle frame with flower. And hit the search box and see if I can find one that I like. And here's one that I think I like for my particular sign. I'm going to click on that, and in the bottom right, click on Add to Canvas. All right, now my canvas is 8x6, so I'm going to go into the top ribbon and under size, I'm going to turn the lock off, and I'm going to change the width to about 7.5 and the height to about 5.5. All right, so now I have the border for my frame. I'm actually going to have this border print out in kind of a gold foil iron-on material, so in the color selection box at the top, I'm going to change the color to something that represents a gold. All right, so now I'm going to add my text that I want printed for my frame, and I'm going to go over to the text box on the far left and click text, and I am going to type in my words. So my first set of words are going to be spread kindness. And I'm going to hit enter because my next line is going to be not germs. Hit enter again and then type wash your hands. So these are the words that I'm going to have in my frame. But I'm not going to have these all 3 lines of words have the same fonts. So I'm going to take this image, these words, and I'm going to go under advanced in the ribbon and I'm going to click ungroup lines because each line is going to have a different font. So for spread kindness, I'm going to go under font in the ribbon and I'm going to select or search for one that starts with hello under system fonts. It's a font that I have loaded on my system. So when I find it, I'm just going to click on it, and you can see it's changed the font to the one that I've selected. I'm then going to select Not Germs and go back up under font, and this time I'm going to select another font that I like and click on that, and now it's changed Not Germs to that font. Do one more time with Wash Your Hands, select it, go under font, and this time we'll type in Arial, select our font. Okay, and then we can grab the corners and size things down so that we can see them better on the screen, but we're going to adjust the fonts and the sizing in a second. So I'm going to pull over Spread Kindness into my frame, Not Germs into my frame, as well as Wash Your Hands, so that I can see how large of a space I have to work with these words and size them down to the way I'd like them to appear. So Spread Kindness is looking pretty good, Not Germs is looking pretty good, and then Wash Your Hands, we're just going to shrink that one down. All right. So I think that looks fairly well. So I'm going to go ahead and in the ribbon across the top, I'm going to click Select All. If I deselect that, nothing is selected. When I select all, everything is selected. I can also deselect everything, and on my canvas, I can click in any white space and click and drag to hover over or highlight all of the layers. And when I do so, everything has been selected, and you can see that on the right under layers that everything is now highlighted. I'm then going to go under Align and select center horizontally. And there is my sign I created in just a couple of minutes. Pretty easy. The words Spread Kindness, Not Germs, Wash Your Hands is all going to be cut on black vinyl. If I want, it shows in a gray color right now. I could select all three and go under the operation and select black. And I am ready to send this over to the Maker to cut. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure in the upper right hand corner that Maker is the machine that I have that I'm using for this project, and that it is the one that is selected at the top, and then I click Make It. And from there you can see things are not exactly the way I want. Spread Kindness, Not Germs, Wash Your Hands are all in different locations because they're different layers, and I want them to be grouped together so that I can actually have them cut in the exact way I want them, with Spread Kindness, Not Germs, Wash Your Hands, one on top of the other. So I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to select those three layers again there's a couple ways you can do this. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking on Spread Kindness, and I'm holding the Shift key down on my keyboard and clicking Not Germs, and then also continuing to hold the Shift key down and clicking Wash Your Hands. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, over in the layers, you can actually just click and hold the Shift key down and select all three of those layers that way. All right. Now, with all three selected, in the bottom right, I want to click Attach. So now when I go to click on Make It, you can see that all three lines are spaced out exactly the way I want them, and that's how they will cut on the vinyl. All right. The second layer that I have over here is in the gold color, and that would be the frame. So I'm ready to send these both over to the Maker. So I'm going to click Continue, and I'm going to select the material that I'm going to be using today, which is an Everyday Iron-On. So I see under Popular, I see Everyday Iron-On. That's what I'm going to use to cut this material. Now, what's really key here when you're working with HTV or iron-on material is that it gives you a warning when you select it to make sure that mirror is turned on for any iron-on material, and that it is facing shiny side down when you put it on the mat. So back over under our layer, you can see it says mirror is off. So I'm just going to click on Edit, and in the bottom here, I'm going to turn mirror on. And done. Do the same thing for the frame. And now I am ready to send these over to be cut on the Maker. All right, so we're going to go ahead and come over to our Maker and get our material ready to cut. So our black vinyl is going to be about 6.5 by about 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Cricut trimmer to trim my material down, using the extended ruler. measuring out 3.5 by 6.5. All right, so this is the piece that we're going to use for the words. And I've got all these extra pieces of scrap material. I'm just going to roll into place into my roll and put that aside. Okay, keep everything kind of organized. And then I'm going to cut my gold in 8.5 by, let's double check it. We're going to do 6.5 by 8. 6.5 by 8. All right, so place that aside and we'll take our excess pieces and we'll put that into our roll. So we have that for later, nice and organized, and then place that aside. All right, so we're done with the Cricut trimmer and we need to go ahead and grab our mat. So we're going to remove the protective cover from our mat and set that aside. And we're going to start with the black and we're going to place that shiny side down. So this is the dull side, this is the shiny side. We're going to place the shiny side down on our mat. Grab our brayer and just kind of roll that on there, make sure it's stuck on there really good. And place that into the maker. All right, with our mat loaded into our machine, we're going to go ahead and click the load arrows. It's going to read the mat, the material, to make sure that it is the right size for the project. Once it's completed that process, the go button or the play button will become lit up and flashing, and you press that to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat. And before I weed out the pieces and parts that we don't need from this part, I am going to turn the mat the other way and I'm going to add my gold vinyl, shiny side down, to the mat and run this back through and then do all my weeding at one time. This means that the mat can go either way. There's not one direction that the mat has to go in. All right, so now that I have that on my mat, I'm going to go ahead and insert that into the machine. Back over in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to tell it the type of material I'm going to be using, which is everyday iron-on, and then the flashing button. I'm going to go ahead and click the load. When it finishes scanning again to make sure that the size of the mat and the material is correct, the play button or the go button will start flashing and we will start the cutting process. So now we're ready to iron on our design to our canvas board. So I'm going to use the mini press today, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it on to the highest setting. So press the button and just press it 3 times to get to the highest setting and give it a minute to heat up. Now that the mini press is lit with 3 bars for green, it is set to the highest setting. I'm going to go ahead and grab the first piece that I'm going to iron on my board, which is the frame. And I'm going to line that up where I want it to be on the frame. And then once I have it where I want it, that looks pretty good. I'm then going to go ahead and grab a piece of parchment paper, cover my design, and then start pressing. Just moving in slow motions back and forth. And then we'll go ahead and check and make sure that it did actually adhere. So we'll peel up the backing. You can see it didn't adhere perfectly right there, so we're going to go ahead and heat that up a little bit more. And now we have our frame, and then we're going to grab our words and we're going to place those on the board and center them the way we want. And you can use heat resistant tape to keep this in place. I think I'll grab some. And we'll grab our parchment paper and we'll go ahead and press our words down onto our canvas board.